Hello, welcome to Bjorn Tarot. Today we're going to be asking about what messages your higher self wants to give you. If you want to take a moment to pause the video, meditate, tune in to which group you feel called to intuitively, and always remember to take these readings with a grain of salt. If it doesn't make sense to you, might not be the reading for you. But with that, we'll get started if you want to pause. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Again, we're going to be asking about any messages our highest self wants to give us, things we might not be seeing right now. This is the crystal you chose. Sorry, I can't see my screen. And this is going to be your main card. So you got number 12, Stairway. So I feel like already your highest self is letting you know that everything is a process, that you just have to take it step by step to reach the top. I don't know if there's some overwhelm maybe going on in your life, but let's see what comes out for your tarot. What messages, please, for group number 1, pile number 1, messages from their highest self that they need to hear today? For group 1, clear guided messages for group 1. What does their highest self want to tell them today? So we have the Hanged Man, we have the 3 of Wands. Let's get another one. What does highest self want to say? Oops. And we have the 2 of Swords. Maybe some indecision going on. Okay, so we have Stairway, the Hanged Man, the 3 of Wands, and the 2 of Swords. I feel like your highest self is letting you know, like, if there's any overwhelm, like we were talking about with this Stairway, you really need to take a step back, reassess, reframe things, so you're able to actually tackle this obstacle or this goal you might have, or something that you need to work through. With the Hanged Man, it's like that's when we come to a place where we need to surrender, or we're kind of put in a place where we have to surrender, and taking that time out, that step away, to reflect and to be introspective, it allows us to come to different perspectives and realizations and enlightenment about certain situations in our lives or ourselves. And I think if you do this, you're going to be able to have a clearer picture on like where you're going with your plans. I feel like you won't be so frozen in indecision, and you're going to be able to not just have an idea or like know what you do need to do, but you're going to be able to actually take action and expand on that idea and put it into practice, and also like watch your ships set sail, watch your plans unfold, instead of just it being like this thought or hope. You also got the 2 of Swords here. I think there is some indecision that keeps you from starting on this stairway. I think there's some lack of clarity, some things that need to be worked out, which again brings me back to that Hanged Man card, where sometimes you have to surrender and be like, okay, like this is what it is, and I really need to think it over, even if you feel like you don't have a choice or time or whatever to think it over. Like eventually you are put in a place where you kind of have to if you don't take action. So I feel like there's a strong need to come to clarity, to make a decision, to take the blinders off and really see your plans through here. Let's see what else. What else does group 1 need to hear from their highest self? We have the 2 of Cups. Let me make sure if you can see this. No, you can't. I'm gonna put it maybe like that, so you could still see the other card. Okay, so you got the 2 of Cups. Anything else for group 1? What does their higher self want to say? We have the Wheel of Fortune. What does group 1's highest self want to say today? Group 1. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Love this. So yeah, beautiful cards. I feel like your highest self is just reminding you that if you are able to surrender and come to this clarity, you're gonna have a clearer picture. You're not gonna have this indecision that leaves you frozen, unable to like take any action or expand. If you have this Hanged Man moment, it's gonna bring you to a place where you feel more complete. It's almost like you're going from this 2 of Swords to this 2 of Cups, where you have like this inner duality, this inner balance and completion in the context of this reading. That's how I'm taking the 2 of Cups. With the Wheel of Fortune, it's like this is your fate. Like time does not ever stop, you know? Like you're always gonna go through different chapters, different seasons in your life. And no matter how stuck you are, like you could be stuck forever, and it's like it's nothing bad on you. Like that can happen sometimes when you have anxiety, like you want to make the right decision, and sometimes that can lead to like decision paralysis, you know? But I think it's just reminding you that like time keeps moving, so the quicker that you surrender to like reassessing the situation and like maybe surrendering to making some different, being more flexible, I guess, the sooner you're going to be able to actually see your plans you know, in motion. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like everything is fated. The wheel of time is going to keep moving with or without you. So it's like if you don't make a decision or try to surrender to certain aspects, it's like time will make the decision for you. And I'm sure you've heard that before, but it's true. But there's also this last card with the Ace of Pentacles. It's reminding you that there is something being offered to you, something very secure and tangible. The Pentacles are all about the earth element, so like career, money, family, domestic, earthly matters. So it's like there's going to be some sort of new opportunity offered to you once you can kind of surrender and just like, even if you have to make a decision and you're not like 1,000% confident on it, it's like you'll be able to balance out to see what's the more favorable choice with what is in front of you. So overall, I think your highest self is coming through today to say, like, take it step by step. Like, a lot of what holds you back is looking at everything as this big hole, like with this stairway, and just try to only instead focus on one step at a time so you don't get overwhelmed and that thought paralysis. But there's a lot of encouragement here. It's a reminder that you just need to take some time. You will be able to expand and see things actually take movement and grow. You will be able to come to a decision and feel balanced and whole in that. And you know, you can't stay in this season forever, so times are going to move, like I said, with or without you. So yeah. And then the Ace of Pentacles, you're gonna have some kind of like major offering, new beginning, coming as a result of this inner reflection and coming to certain realizations about maybe some of the blockages that keep you from movement. But that's what I see for you, Group 1. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful to you. Wishing you the best. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. It just really helps the algorithm. So these videos don't just get buried and never watched. But thank you again. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day. If you guys have any like suggestions also for future pick a card readings, feel free to make requests in the comments. I always will definitely consider those. Just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. Okay, welcome Group 2 to your reading. Today we're going to be talking about messages coming through from your highest self. So let's get started. Here's the crystal you chose. Your main card is number 22, Love Potion. And this is the deck we're going to be using today, the Mystic Medleys Tarot. So let's get started. Oh, let me move this. Okay. Love Potion. Okay, for Group 2, please, clear guided messages from their highest self. What do they need to hear? What do they need to know right now for Group 2? We have the Queen of Cups, okay, with Love Potion. We have the Page of Cups, so this is a very watery reading so far. What does Group 2's higher self want to let them know? We have the Ace of Pentacles. This card also came out in the last reading from a different deck. Okay. So, Love Potion, Queen of Cups, Page of Cups, and Ace of Pentacles. So, your higher self is kind of being like, hey, I don't know if this is like about self-love or possibly like some kind of new romance even. I mean, this is not a love reading, but that's just what I think of when I see this with the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups. And then Ace of Pentacles is about like new offerings in the earthly realm. But yeah, I feel like if it's talking about self-love, with this Love Potion, it's basically letting you know that like, it's kind of like a love offering card. So it's like, offer yourself love, or maybe somebody else is offering you love right now. The Queen of Cups is coming through as well, and she's all about empathy and emotional maturity, and she's very caring and loving. And then with the Page of Cups, this is kind of about like playfulness, and also could be about like flirtation or surprises or emotional offerings. Can also talk about like being a little naive, being creative, being a little sensitive. And the Ace of Pentacles, new offerings. So yeah, I almost feel like this is not a love reading, but I keep feeling like it is. Like I said, it could talk about self-love where you're kind of offering, yeah, you could just be like having this new take on life where maybe you weren't so kind to yourself, or maybe this is your highest self saying you need to be more loving of yourself. You need to offer yourself more acts of love. You need to be more empathetic. You need to be more playful and lighthearted. And there will be more offerings to you when you kind of step into that energy. That's definitely a likely interpretation of this. And if it's about love, it could just be talking about how there might be some kind of new love coming in your life. Only, take it if it resonates, but I couldn't help but feel like this is giving love reading vibes. But yeah, like if there is some kind of new love coming into your life, it's like seems very positive. Like there's a lot to offer here. It's like all of these cards, somebody is offering something, or even with this love potion card, it's like this it's almost like this altar with offerings on it. So in love potion, it's like you're struck with the love from the potion. So yeah, it's like it might be your higher self also just saying like you need to be more compassionate towards yourself. You need to give yourself more empathy. That negative self-talk might take over sometimes, and I think they're saying to be a little bit more lighthearted with yourself, to be open to new perspectives. You might be surprised if you try talking to yourself a little bit nicer. You may be surprised with the results. You may also have more earthly offerings come your way from embodying the Queen of Cups, the Page of Cups. Let's see what else comes out. What else for group 2's higher self? What does this group 2's higher self want to share today? We have the 8 of Pentacles, the Sun. Yeah, I think this is for most people, this is just like not a love reading maybe. But for a few, definitely could be. What else for group 2? You get 2 there. You got an extra one. I'm just gonna scoot these over so you can see them all. Make sure you can see them all. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you got the 8 of Pentacles, the Sun, the 10 of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Another Ace, so another new beginning. Look at all these cups and water type of energy. I mean, I'm just real focused on that for some reason. Probably from the first layer. But anyways, so 8 of Pentacles, I feel like as far as self-love goes, like you are kind of working on this already maybe, or it's just something that you know is a problem if you struggle with like a lot of negative self-talk. But it's saying like if you keep chipping away at this, addressing it when it comes up, nipping it in the bud, like keep doing that self-work and don't give up, it's gonna lead to a lot of happiness, vitality, joy, a new beginning. Yeah, it's gonna be like a positive change in your life. I do feel like this is a heavy burden that you might carry. I think it might really affect your life more than you realize if this is resonating. it's like a really heavy load on your back, just with the negative self-talk. I don't know, I just keep picking up on that. But if you keep working towards it and like try to retrain your thought processes and like instead of being so hard on yourself, like offering yourself compassion and empathy and love like the Queen of Cups, and allow for surprises, allow for playfulness to lighten the load, to lighten your heart. I think that's going to help you, like I said, have new opportunities come your way in the earthly realm, and also have new opportunities of emotional fulfillment and emotional peace and happiness within. But yeah, I think overall your highest self is coming through today. Like, you know, take it as it resonates. There might be a few people watching it and this is like, okay, yeah, this is a love reading for me. But for the most of you, I think it's just more about self-love, about trying to change unhealthy thought patterns that maybe you developed over time, and working really hard to reframe things, to retrain your mind, and give yourself a chance to be joyous. Give yourself a chance to have that new overflowing feeling of love and contentment. And I know it doesn't happen overnight, but I think it's just like a calling for you to maybe start trying to, like I said, replace the negative thoughts with empathy and listing off a few things that you do like about yourself, as hard as it is. And it might not feel natural at first, but I think if you do this, like, you're gonna have so much, like, there's so much offering in this reading, from the love potion, from the Queen of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the Sun is just like reminding you that you can have that joy and peace and happiness. You don't have to carry this load. You can have a new start emotionally. That's what I see for you, Group 2. I hope this was helpful. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Be brave. Know that you deserve love and compassion towards yourself, even if you feel like, you know, you just don't. But it takes practice. But yeah, if you found this helpful, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Also feel free to make requests for future pick a card topics. It really helps the algorithm, and I just love to hear from people. So yeah, thank you, Group 2. Hello, Group 3. Welcome to today's reading, where we're going to ask our highest self what you need to hear today. So here is the stone that you chose. Let me swap this out. And this is your main card, Shield. It's like a heart. There's some garlic here, maybe like protecting the heart. Okay, this is for Group 3. Can we please get clear guided messages for Group 3 on what they need to hear from their highest self? We have the Hierophant, we have the Seven of Wands, And we have the Two of Wands. So I think your highest self so far with Shield and the Hierophant, it's like you are very protective at this point due to your wisdom, due to everything you've been through, everything you've learned. I feel like you really are at a point where you're trying to be very careful with what you choose in life. So with the Seven of Cups, this is like about all the possibilities and choices that stand before us. Some lead to fortune, some lead to misfortune. So it's like, I feel like you're very protective over these choices. You want to be really careful too. With the Two of Wands, like you're really careful about what plans you make, how you're creating your blueprint for your next move. Yeah, I think your highest self is recognizing that there might be a little bit over protection. Maybe you've been through a lot, you've been hurt, you've been betrayed in the past, so it's like you are taking this wisdom and you're like, this is what I'm sticking with, this is what is going to protect me. But there might be a little bit of stagnancy when we can't make a choice. Let's see what else comes through. But yeah, I think you're like, you've learned some things along the way and now you're like, I'm sticking to that. There's no room for error. There's no room for going outside of my, the structure I've built based off of my wisdom type of thing, where you're like really, really, really being careful with how you're making your plans, which isn't like necessarily a bad thing, as long as you're not being too rigid where you're like, you know, closing off doors of opportunity or missing opportunities from maybe taking a little too long to make a decision or choose something. What else for group 3? Sorry, that one fell. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. What else for group 3? What does group 3's highest self want to tell them? The Chariot and the Knight of Wands together. Okay, what else for group 3? And you got the Three of Wands. It's crazy because this reading, like, if you guys felt called to any of the other groups, maybe check them out, because a few of them like had the same cards, but I used all different decks. So okay, so I feel like with the Knight of Wands, the Chariot, and the Three of Wands coming out right below the Two of Wands, I feel like it is saying like the Knight of Wands is a very fast-moving knight. It's that fire element. There's a lot of power, passion, enthusiasm, adventurousness backed by this Knight of Wands. Sometimes the Knight of Wands can kind of just like come in so fast, but sometimes that's a good thing, you know, like if you feel stuck on making your plans, or you're like, you know, just taking a long time because you want to make sure you're sticking to your principles, which is good, or sticking to your wisdom. But yeah, like the Knight of Wands is, like I said, very fast moving in motion. And then you got the Chariot. The Chariot is all about inspired action, kind of like balancing things out to know which path to take, and then taking movement from there. The Three of Wands is like, it comes right after the Two of Wands, where we're in our planning stages, creating the blueprint for what we want to make happen. The Three of Wands is where we have already done this footwork, and now we are watching our ships set sail. We have put in the work. It's not complete yet, but now we're to a point where we can actually see some tangible movement and results. So I feel like this is saying, your higher self is saying, try not to overly shield yourself. Like, it's okay to take risks sometimes. It's okay to go outside of the norm, or like the trusted path that you feel comfortable in. Because sometimes that can slow you down. Like, it is good to be careful and like smart and make calculated decisions and risks, but you just don't want to like take it, like there's two extremes with that, where you could be like impulsive and not think about any of the consequences of that quickness and impulsivity. And there's also the other side of that, where like you don't make a decision. Like, you might be steadily working towards it, so it's not like you're just stuck, but it's like you also don't want to like always be in planning mode. Like, eventually you have to like take your plans and just dive in, like the Knight of Wands and the Chariot, so that you can move, like I said, from the planning stages to this Three of Wands. So overall, I think your highest self is giving you a message to say, like, yes, like there's a good reason that you have put up the shield, that you have put in these careful measures in your planning of your life, or whatever it is. Could be in any realm of your life. But yeah, but it's also good to you know, put things in motion, take a step, take a leap, take inspired action. You can trust yourself, and you can trust yourself that you do have enough wisdom and like, I'm trying to think of the right word, like intelligence and a good eye for, you know, what's gonna work or not. I'm not sure how to say that, but I think your highest self saying, like, trust yourself. Don't put the shield on so much that you're slowing yourself to almost a halt. Take a risk, take action. You're gonna have good results with that Three of Wands, and from there you'll know if your ships are gonna return or not, you know. But I think, like I said, I think you have it like a pretty good eye for like what's a good risk or not. So please trust yourself. That's what your higher self is trying to let you know. I hope this was helpful. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Be brave. And yeah, if this was helpful or resonated, please subscribe, like, share, comment. It helps the algorithm, and I just love hearing like from people, like how the reading resonated or didn't or whatever. But yeah, thank you so much, group 3, and I hope you have a great day.